I'm Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. Take a look at this great quilt behind me. Isn't this fun? I mean, it's just really fun. It's based on the same block we did when we made Falling Charms. Falling Charms was such a hit, I wondered what would happen if we did the same type of thing to a triangle, to a half square triangle block, and it's just adorable. So let me show you how to do that. So to make this quilt, what you're going to need is 1 packet of 10-inch squares. And we used Poppy Panache by Ann Lauer with Grizzly Gulch for Benartex. And it's just a beautiful line. It's a very happy, pretty line. So you're going to need 1 packet of 10-inch squares, and that's 42 10-inch squares of color, 1 of solid, that's your background squares, and then you're going to need some 2.5-inch strips, and you're going to need close to 70. So that's more than 1 jelly roll, but not quite 2 jelly rolls. So they're just 2.5-inch strips cut. You can use yardage if you want. And it makes an enormous quilt. This quilt is so huge. So just with those pre-cuts, you're going to get a quilt that is 90 by 108. I mean, this is a big quilt. So if you need a king-size quilt, this is your ticket right here. And it goes together really quick and fast. So this quilt is using half square triangles, and we're going to do them the same way I love to do half square triangles. So we're going to put 2 squares together, light and dark, and this is our background square and then our colored square. We're going to put them right sides together. We're going to sew all the way around the outside edge, 1/4 inch. So let's go do that. So we're heading over here to the sewing machine. I like to just line up my presser foot on the edge of my fabric and just sew down. People ask if it's okay to sew off the end or if you have to turn to pivot. Honestly, either way works great. It's just whatever you like. And I'm just sewing all the way around this 1/4 inch. All right. So now you can see right here that I've sewn this all the way around here 1/4 inch. And if you get your seam allowances right and your cut straight, these blocks, it's just a dream to make these half square triangles. So now you're going to take your ruler and you're going to line it up right here between this stitch line, and you're going to follow it all the way up here between this stitch line. So we're going to cut it diagonally both directions. So here we go. And you want to make sure that your squares don't move. If they do, line them back up, and then you come to the other side. And we're just going to start this again. There we go. Now we have 4 half square triangles, just that easy. So we're going to bring these over to the ironing board and iron them open. I like to start with my dark on the top. That way your seam allowance stays to the dark side. Go ahead and iron these back. Get that string out of there. And you're going to do this with each one of your blocks. So you're going to have 42 of these of the blocks. Then each block is going to make 4. So that's 160 something. It's a lot of blocks. So you'll have 42 of these blocks like this. Then you cut them into fourths, and you're going to get 4 times that many. So then what we're going to do is we have to border our little half square triangles. And we're going to sew a 2.5-inch strip on this side and a 2.5-inch strip on that side. So I like to just take my strip, and I'm going to lay my half square triangle on here, and I'm going to lay it on here color side to the edge. We want to add the strip to the color side of the triangle. So here's our triangle right here, and we've added our strip to the color side. So we'll go do that over at the sewing machine. And if you want to chain piece these, you can do that by just laying all your half square triangles on the strip and just sewing down. I'm just going to do one so you can see how it works. So now I have this one. And I'm going to clip off these little bunny ears here and trim this up here so it's nice and straight. And then we're going to press this open. There we go. And now we have one on this side. Now we need to add a strip to the other side also, the other color side, and we're going to do that right over here. And we're going to take that over the sewing machine. All right. So now we've bordered two sides of this block, and the block is done. That's really all we need to do. So I'm going to trim that back, and I'm going to trim this little ear off over here, these little bunny ears. And then we're going to press this open. So now you have a block that looks like this. You've sewn a strip on each side of the color part of the triangle, and you're going to do this to all your blocks. Then the fun comes in the layout. So let's take a look at this layout that's behind me right here. So this top row, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 across the top and 14 down the side. That's how we laid ours out. And you want to look at how ours go, because it goes up this way, and then the next one is going to go down. They kind of come together, and then this one goes up, and this one goes down like this. And I'm a little angly challenged, so I have to look really carefully at what I'm doing. Now the second row is going to go up, but it's going to point the other direction. So then your down block is going to go this way. So each row goes a little opposite, and this one's going to go up, and this one's, let's get a different one here. This one's going to go down like this. All right, so you want to watch your layout. Now the fun thing about this layout though is that when you're putting a quilt together, you really can't get it wrong. So if you decide you want to run all these little triangle blocks going one direction, that's going to look awesome. If you want run row one direction and run row the other, it's going to look awesome. So have a lot of fun with this layout, and try to be creative, try several different things. You may come up with a whole new pattern that you just love. So we hope you enjoyed this tutorial on the tossed triangle block from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. Hi, it's Jenny. Benetechs loved this fabric, and so did we. They actually sent us a bunch of samples and patterns that they made the samples out of, and they look awesome. And if you'd like to go and see them, click here on this link. Have a great day.